Sorry, I lost these.
As you.
So you're very welcome back to Unstable TV. So a lot of you guys have been coming in giving us some suggestions. Now this one is a very interesting one. But before we get into that, if this is your first time on the channel, do not forget to
Like, subscribe, comment, share. Say that bell, make sure you hit it. And if you're back with us again, thanks.
So what are we reacting on today, Danielle?
So today, James, we have been sent Universal Basic Income, the solution to inflation in the UK. This is from Vantage with Palki Sharma. Is it the solution to inflation?
That is the question. We'd always want to hear your thoughts down below, but we'll save them for the end and you let us know in the comments. So let's watch this together. Let's go.
Speaking of high prices, let's turn our attention to the UK, the sick man of Europe. While inflation has been falling everywhere else, it remains stubbornly high in the UK. It is going down, but not fast enough. Of particular concern is food inflation. Food prices are about 20% higher than they were last year. This keeps aggravating their cost of living crisis, and their government still doesn't know how to address it. Last week, they were looking into putting price caps at supermarkets. Indians are familiar with the concept of a maximum retail price. But that isn't standard practice in the UK, and unsurprisingly, some companies are not willing to implement it. How will they price gouge if there's a cap? This is a standoff in the making between the government and supermarkets, and now a new idea has been floated: a universal basic income. Our next report has more.
What would you do if you were assured about $2,000 a month? Guaranteed that amount in your bank account. You may not have to worry about making ends meet. If that stress melted away, would you focus on your career more? Or would you stop working and take it easy? That's what the UK is trying to find out. A think tank called Autonomy is looking to conduct a pilot program, a pilot for universal basic income. It plans to test it out on 30 people in 2 areas in England. It wants to study how these people behave. The think tank hopes that the findings will pave the way to introduce universal basic income in the UK. Because, let's face it, the UK might need this. The country is suffering at the hands of inflation, more than almost anywhere else in Europe. Every country was hit by a cost of living crisis when the war in Ukraine erupted last year. But no one seems to be dealing with it worse than the UK. Inflation hit a 40-year high of 11.1% last October. It has climbed down now, but not enough. The latest figures show inflation at 8.7% in April. It was slightly more than expected, but that's not the biggest problem. It's what's driving inflation that's worrying policymakers in Rishi Sunak's government. Food inflation.
Whilst it is welcome that the headline rate of inflation has fallen, these numbers show there is absolutely no room for complacency in the battle against inflation. Food price inflation is still worryingly high. That's why we've had food producers in, farmers in, supermarkets in to talk about what we can do to reduce the pressure there.
Food and non-alcoholic beverage prices rose by 19.1% year-on-year in April, almost 20%, for essentials like bread, milk and eggs. You can see why it has the British government worried. How long can people keep paying 20% extra for these basics, or continue to deal with general inflation over 8%?
It's currently running between 8.7 and 10%. What we've also had, because of the war in Ukraine, is vast increase in energy costs, and also food costs in the UK have bills have increased between 16 and 20% in the last 12 months. So everybody's feeling the strain regardless of the level of income that they've got.
The Sunak administration is scrambling to bring food inflation in check. Their solution? Introduce price caps at supermarkets. The government floated this idea last week, and it immediately faced a backlash from major supermarket chains. Even though the price caps would be voluntary, the supermarket tycoons aren't having it. The British Retail Consortium put out a message. They said that the government should not focus on recreating 70s-style price controls. They should work on cutting red tape instead. Of course, the supermarkets would prefer the loosening of government regulations, but they're just the latest to rebel against the government. For months, the officials at 10 Downing Street have faced stiff resistance. Railway workers, nurses, paramedics, everyone has been taking to the streets. Everyone wants a pay rise to deal with the crippling cost of living. Sunak's government doesn't think this is feasible. They say it'll cost too much, empty the treasury. So it's been pushing back against striking workers. Downing Street even wants to enact a new law to undermine the right to strike. That's how much it's against increasing wages. In this scenario, it seems impossible that the government would agree to universal basic income, no matter what the findings are. But the think tank proposing the radical solution may not have to worry much. The study will be over around the next general election, and the way things stand at the moment, this government's inability to handle inflation may lead to their ouster.
The BBC chairman is rigorous, it's transparent, it's said.
That's quite the sight to be seeing now. So first of all, a very big shout out to the original content creator. Do make sure you check them out, get them like, subscribe and sharing all that good YouTube stuff. So what did you think of that, Danielle?
First of all, testing this out on 30 people, it's not enough. It's not going to give enough data for how the people actually live with it or anything like that. It's only 30 people out of what, 65 million? And who covers the cost of it? Does that mean tax has to go up then? Like, where does the money come from? And that's only for 30 people, let alone the rest of the country. So I don't particularly see how it's going to work. And a lot of people, I feel like, would just stop working as well, because what's the incentive anymore?
Exactly. Of course, pay rises and, you know, where they're going out to protest in the street for their pay rises, I understand that. I want to know what that 1970s style is.
They said it was to do with supermarket caps, so I'm assuming they put that in the 70s and then it just didn't work.
If, like, no solution comes from this, like, there's going to be no workers, there's going to be no one left in the country really, and the country's just going to go completely downhill.
Yeah, something has to happen, and I don't feel like this is the answer, do you?
No, I don't feel like this is going to really make much of a difference, because is it better for, like, the other thing, is it better for people to stop, like, overcrowding the food banks? You know, people actually get fed and they might actually get a decent meal now, because it's awful to see that going on. It's horrible.
Supermarkets are still making so much profit right now.
Yeah.
And they just keep, well, in Ireland anyway, they just keep upping the prices.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really make much sense.
They're making the money, they're making the profits. Like, people are always, like, people have to eat, so they're always going to make the money. So what would it be? Like, they'd cap it for a bit and then come back, is it?
I have no idea. I mean, it's they're trying all this out in England now, so it's kind of one of them things where we all just kind of, it's a wait and see, but I just don't see how, I just don't see how the universal basic income will actually work, though. I really don't. Again, like, where is the money coming from? And, like, they'd have to put taxes up then.
Yeah.
So then what's the point? So they're giving you that money and then you're going to work and you're just getting taxed to bits then again. So what's the point? I don't think it'll work.
Well, we both feel it won't work, but let us know, like, you guys might know a bit more than us, or maybe some of you have seen trials like this before and you might know better. Let us know down in the comments down below. Do you guys think this will work? Should it be implemented worldwide? What way do you guys think this should go? Let us know in the comments down below and we'll chat to you guys there.
Absolutely. And if you have any good things to say about this, let us know too. Because we've only just kind of really seen this, so
yeah,
we don't really know too much.
That's been our 2 cents. Much yourself service.